Okay, I'm very peeved today, so we're gonna have lots of rants from here on out. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved. Good morning, it is April 13th. I'm in the parking lot right now. I'm not driving. I was reminded of a story that I wanted to tell you guys that happened yesterday. So one of my academic buildings, it's called the Priscilla Payne-Hurd Academic Complex, and we just call it PP Hack for short. It has sliding doors in the front, sliding doors, automatic doors, whatever you call them, and they're really slow. So if it's just closing and you're coming up to it, it'll like close fully and then open. It's very dangerous. It kind of ruins the point of automatic doors being safe. Like if you go through them, they're gonna not crush you. So I have a very fast pace when I walk, and I'm going straight for these doors. They're starting to close, and I slip right into them, and I fit like a puzzle piece. It literally just kind of gently closes on the width of my body, and I managed to squeeze my hands in there somehow, and I pushed them open. Like that scene in Lord of the Rings where they think Aragorn fell off the ledge when they had that ambush. I think it might have been episode 2. And then he's in the river, and then his horse like is alive, and his horse helps him up and stuff, and then he goes back to the castle or whatever. Helm's Deep, is that? Yeah, he goes back to Helm's Deep, and he like opens the doors, and it's like like that. Well, that's kind of how that was, and it was very, very funny. And I think this girl behind me was like chuckling at me because I just like ripped the doors open, which was half of my strength and also half of just automatic doors opening. But I thought it was super funny that I just got crushed by these doors.
Howdy! I'm shooting Awana.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, very nice and sunny.
It's so nice out, except my allergies are so bad.
Oh no. So I'm here in the glorious afternoon sun, just waiting for a vlog to finish. Encoding here. I'm gonna be shooting some video and stills tonight at the church of the kids group, Awana, and yeah, it's a good afternoon.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I gotta put my beaker on.
Your what? Excuse me, dude. Oh wow! What is that for?
He's gonna have it. First rant. This used to be a beautiful field, and I loved looking out on it when I was driving home. And now they're ripping it up, scarring the earth, making room for another warehouse, which they just built. They ripped up this whole field too. Now they're making another one. This is disgusting.
I'm once again the bag lady. Got all my gear and then some. I just finished doing some photos at Awana, which is like the young kids kind of thing. It's like VBS, but during the non-VBS times, and that was really fun. There was a little girl who introduced herself to me. She must have been 4 or something. She was kind of shy but very bold, and she introduced herself and I introduced myself, and she says, "You're cute." It's like, oh my gosh, I just melted. How am I gonna take photos now? Cheers! I'm going to a young adults group, but instead of the regular group, we're watching the pastors for the gospel conference, I guess a sermon or a message tonight, through the internet. And I have to go and set up my computer there now. So, I gotta zoom.
What are these?
Box elder beetles?
A clump of box elder beetles.
A clump. Yeah, that's the scientific word for it.
Something I noticed about little Priuses walking by. Priuses, or is it Prius? Prii? I forget. They actually there is a way to say it.
A plural, you ask, well, what does it do? When you started with one, then added a few, then how come when we multiply, platypus doesn't become platypi? Fish are just fish, whether one or with friends. A single Prius, it's easy to know, but if there's a few, how would it go? Would you add ES or replace with an I? Simply keep it the same or cast your net wide? After all this confusion, my head feels sore. From what do you call one when it turns into more? Drum roll, please. Look to the sky. The plural of Prius is Prii.
When they drive by, their little whirring little electric engine sounds like the future. It sounds like something you'd see in a sci-fi movie. It's just interesting though, because the Tesla doesn't have that. And I think other smart cars, I don't know if the Leaf has a little whine like that. Like, when you're accelerating the Tesla, yeah, you hear the whine of the motor, but just a Prius going by just sounds like ee. It's just interesting that like I associate that sound with future, like Tron or futuristic science fiction stuff, whereas the stuff that's actually the future doesn't sound anything like that. It's silent.
What I would say is that our faith, like the working out of our faith, is coextensive with the work of God, so that the whole thing is His work, but our will is still operative in it, which is sort of a version of what he was saying.
Yeah.
But it's not as if the causal factor in that is God's omnipotence. It's His inworking, which is actually the insight of the Holy Spirit, which causes those acts. And so it's the understanding of God that conforms us to His image, and then we work that out.
I have 3 people that have arrived at my house, and I'm making tea. And I'm gonna stay up for the next 5 days making a video.
Or as the Japanese call it, tea.
Like T-N?
I have no idea.
That's
I actually
Spanish.
made that up, yeah.
Oh, I was learning Spanish, so that makes sense.
Now, I have time to rant about the other 2 things I wanted to talk about today. Now that I'm calmer, because when I'm a little bit angry, I kind of fly off the handle. And I want to look at this in a better light. So I just came back from a walk and I'm feeling a lot better, and I probably won't say something I will regret. The first thing I ranted about was ruining a nice field that we have. Second thing is, why are people intimidated by emotion in college? I'm either really happy or I'm another kind of emotion, but it's always extreme. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm a very emotional person. Lots of me. I do everything with intensity. But in college, I try not to, because people get really weird. Most of the people I'm around, maybe it's just English majors, I don't know, but most of the people I'm around are really miserable. They barely show any emotion. The only is cynicism and emotion, because that's the only kind of emotion that they show. If I'm really happy and I'm like giggling and I'm excited, people are like, whoa, Lydia, calm down. Like, you need to chill out. And it's not even like I'm screaming or I'm flying off the handle, I'm just being happy. And if I get angry about something that I'm passionate about and I get upset, people are like, Lydia, seriously, like, you're overreacting, you don't need to worry about this, like, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. It seems like complaining in a narcissistic manner is more accepted than being joyful or trying to make a change for something and being passionate about it. People just seem emotionless and numb and really nihilistic, which nihilism's okay, I guess. Third thing I want to rant about calmly. My college sent out an email I'm not going to get into the details of the context, but James Franco is visiting our campus. Apparently there was some kind of situation where he and a 17-year-old were texting or messaging each other, and it was kind of sexual. So the door just closed on itself and nothing really happened, but if something had happened sexually, it would have been statutory rape, yada yada yada, but nothing did happen, so it's not important. This email was sent out. I don't really care if the campus agrees with James Franco coming on or if they don't support him. That's not what I care about. In their email, they had their own description of what rape culture is. Let me read this to you. Rape culture is an environment in which rape is prevalent and in which sexual violence against women is normalized and excused in the media and popular culture. Rape culture is perpetrated through the use of misogynistic language, the objectification of women's bodies, and the glamorization of sexual violence, thereby creating a society that disregards women's rights and safety. So this entire thing is about stopping rape culture, but their definition of rape culture only had to do with women being victims. I don't know at what point you have to consider yourself a men's rights activist, but that's what I can probably consider myself. Men rape women. Women rape men. Men rape men. Women rape women. And the fact that this email is worded in a way that puts down men. They called James Franco a white privileged male who's taking advantage of that in the name of misogyny, pretty much. That's not true. If this had been a Jamie Franco and she had been talking to a 17-year-old boy, they would have told that 17-year-old boy, oh yeah, well he just wants it and he should be honored that this girl wants to sleep with him because she's a celebrity. I feel bad for all of the people on campus, all of the men who have been raped or assaulted, and they read that email and it just shows them that people are not out to save them, not out to help them, just the women. Because it's only the women that are victims. It's a liberal college, they have safe zones everywhere, and yet, if I was a man and I had a history of being sexually assaulted, if I read that email, I would never go to that organization because I would not feel safe talking to them and counseling with them. I'm so disappointed. I'm completely disappointed. I can't believe they let that email go out with that kind. There's a bigger picture behind all of this. They claim that they're just trying to stop rape culture, but their rape culture only applies to women, and that's wrong. That's very, very, very wrong. I'm really sick of it. I'm sick of this movement where we have to take down men. It's about equality. It's not about demeaning another sex. It goes both ways. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed.
We've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun.
Oh, and it's great because it's cold in here, so you get just a little bit of air for your nose, so everything else is warm and